Here are my top 5 building tips in Windrose. For each of these techniques, I'm going to show you an example in our build here, and then I'm going to show you how to do it. Alright, this countertop here has an example of our first technique, which is placing floor pieces at an angle other than 0 or 90 degrees. Okay, here's how you do it. I'm going to place a short wall just to give us something to put a floor piece on. And here's our first piece. You'll notice that if we want to snap, it'll either go there or there, right, to a side. And even if we change our rotation angle, it no longer wants to snap. But if I want to place this at 30 degrees to this piece, all we have to do is put some kind of pillar on the corner. And then, easy peasy, 30 degreesy. And now you can even delete your post, and since these are connected, they'll persist. Our second example is these boardwalks right here. Here's how you do it. Select the foundation logs, turn snapping off, and you can now get it to follow the contour of the sand more or less. But if you want a really realistic look, press Z and mouse wheel down to drop it into the sand, and you can start getting some pretty convincing results really quickly. Okay, this one's a 2-for-1. Here's how you center and recess one of those pesky 1.5 wide doors, or center and fill one of those pesky 1.5 wide doors. Here I've got 2 sections of wall. They're 2 squares apart. And I want to use this 1.5 square wide door. And as you can see, and you've probably experienced, it will not center itself. So here's one way to deal with that problem. Get a small section of wall, set your rotation angle to 30 degrees, rotate it 30 degrees inward on either side, then get your door, and bing bang boom. Centered, set slightly back. For extra points, you can finish the edges however you want. Now if we want to center the door in line with the walls, it's a little trickier, but it's totally possible. You're going to want to grab your short wall again, set the angle to 15, place the wall at 15 degrees off angle, rotate 15 degrees the other way, and place that section, and now you have a point that you can use to snap the door to. You can delete your guide walls, and now it's perfectly centered. If you want to fill the space, you can use a section of pillar. This works better on some other walls, but if you want to fill that too, you can go right ahead. Okay, our fourth example is how to build a bar or countertop that actually sits on top of the wall you're building it on. Here's how you build it. Lay down your sections of low wall. Lay a beam across the top, and this will give us the surface that we need to lay our pieces on in the next step. Grab a section of small floor, whichever one you like. Turn off snapping, and you'll see that it floats pretty well above that beam. So you can center it where you'd like to start. You can offset it if you'd like. I'm going to put this one down the middle. And just draw your line. Bingo. For extra credit, you can grab some beam, Z it all the way down, and place it along the edge, like so. You can even finish the corner really nicely. Kind of like that. Just continue the idea all the way around. Maybe finish with a little pillar at the end. Snapping back on for that finished look. And our final example is a countertop with cabinets, like a real kitchen. Here's how you build it. We've got a piece of wall we want to build our counter against. Place your sections of wall to delineate the ends. We'll just use this part. Take your pieces of beam, put them on the top. Find a small section of floor that you like. I'm going to use mahogany. Snapping off. Get sort of close to the wall if you can. And you'll see that the counter will float on top of your wall. Then you can just draw your line. And to finish the other side, you can do the same thing. Snapping off. It's a little finicky, but you can find it. Like so. Then you want to place your elegant end table. ×2, maybe. You can place one. Place the other clipping into it so that they're actually like one unit. This would obviously work on a shorter countertop better, but you get the idea. Take your beam and we're going to finish the edge. Z it all the way down, snapping off. There's one side. Figure out how you like to do the corner. I kind of like to do this. Draw your line. Now you'll see this end is sticking off a little. That's fine. Snapping off. Just get to where it's intersecting with your previous beams. In place. Do your other side. And that's the idea. You can finish this however you'd like. You can put some pillar there, snapping back on. That's one way to do it. You can actually, snapping off, finish this in like this if you like. And now you've got working cabinets under your countertop.